Welcome, everyone, to another Thursday evening. It is time for another episode of Our Parents' Basement. This is our 27th episode, and I am so excited about this one for a ton of reasons, and you'll learn what those reasons are very shortly. Now, last week, we did not have a show because we were gearing up for something very special, and you will hear all about that soon. There is so much to talk about this evening, so we are just going to just dive head first. As you all know, I'm Cashel, and this evening I am joined by two of my favorite fellas. First of all, from Arkansas, Turf. How's it going tonight for you, my friend?
Man, I am doing well. I am happy to be here. I am just pumped to tell you all about my last weekend.
Right, we can't wait to talk about it with you. And also, we got my favorite Chicagoan of all time, Mr. Nikon. How goes it?
Okay, I guess. I don't know. I'm doing okay.
You don't sound convinced.
Wow. Very melancholy of you, sir.
Well, glad to have you both. Well, let's just get the show on the road. As you all know, last weekend we finally went to something we've been talking about for a little over a year. We went to Arlington, Texas for Retropalooza IV, and oh my God, you guys! Like it was so much fun. Turf, I gotta be honest, I thought, okay, is he gonna be hyping it up too much? Am I gonna get my hopes dashed? Because Turf has been to every Retropalooza since its advent, and I'm thinking to myself, it can't be that much fun. But you know what? It was. There are a few little things I would have changed, but overall, it was a fantastic time. I'm so glad I went. I'm so glad you both went as well. Overall, I had a great time. What about you, Turf? Overall, real quick, what'd you think of it?
Man, it's every year is one of my favorite weekends of the year, and I'm like you. I'm always afraid that I'm going to overhype it for myself. And this year I was just the same. I was afraid I was going to overhype it for y'all, but man, it delivered. It was such a good time. It will be remembered all year long until next year, and then there'll be more memories to be made.
Exactly. Mr. Nikon, how about you? Overall, what'd you think?
It was fun. It was awesome. Had a lot of fun down there.
Good.
Long drive for us, but it's a fun road trip.
Yes, definitely was. And you know what? We're just going to start from the beginning, which kind of covers that road trip. Now, most of you know Retropalooza is only over a Saturday and Sunday. However, our journey basically started, for two of us, it started kind of the Wednesday before. The initial plan was to have Charles and his girlfriend Jenny drive from Chicago to Nashville to pick me up on Thursday, I believe that was the 28th.
29th?
The 29th.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the 29th. Yeah. So the 28th, the day before, Charles messages me and says, "Bad news. Jenny's check engine light came on." And I'm thinking, "Oh God, is this an omen? What else is going to go wrong? This is no good." But you know what? They're resourceful individuals. They scheduled a rental car, and I knew that following Thursday they would be on their way bright and early from Chicago, from Chicago to Nashville. They would probably get here, maybe around dinner time.
Yeah.
Not so much. Charles, what time did you and Jenny actually go get your rental?
I think I finally got it around 1 in the afternoon or noon, something like that.
Okay. So not too late.
No.
And I got the message. Okay, they're on their way. They got the rental. Gas is loaded. Their luggage is loaded. They're on their way. So they're driving. They're rolling along. Things are good. And then what happened, Mr. Nikon?
They're doing work on the bridge going into Louisville. I think everything's going down to like a half a lane or something like that. And it just, comes to a dead stop. Jenny puts it in park. We sit there for 30, 40 minutes, something like that at least. And for that, it was going a little slow, and then we just come to a dead stop, like 30, 40 minutes.
It is just awful because you were making good time. They were messaging me throughout their journey. So I thought, okay, they're gonna be here any minute now. They're gonna be here any hour now. And the sun went down.
Now.
I'm like, eventually, it was around midnight.
Pretty much midnight on the dot.
Yeah, that they got here. Now usually America, I go to bed around 10, maybe like 9:30 on a really bad day. So I was up way past my bedtime. But you know what? For Charles and Jenny, I was hanging in there. They arrived safe and sound. They got to see where I live. They got to see this room where I do this podcasting thingy. And they made it here safe. Best of all, besides seeing Charles and Jenny, I finally got this from them.
Yes.
This is a game that Charles has promised me for a while. This is Romancing Saga for the Super Famicom. I have all the Romancing Sagas now. Thank you again, Charles, for bringing this to me.
You're welcome.
I'm glad he brought that. I saw that at the convention. I almost bought it for you just because I knew.
Yep. You see, we had OPB watch out for each other. But yes, I got it. I haven't tried it yet, but
it's funny. I kind of put it in your mailbox. Hey, what's in your mailbox? Here, look what
yeah,
for you.
Yeah, I forgot about that. When we were helping him with their luggage, and then I see Mr. Nikon going through our mailbox, but he wasn't like digging through it. He threw this in a USPS box in our mailbox, then pulled it right back out. So in and out like this. So yes, I appreciated the gesture. Thank you so much, Mr. Nikon.
Sorry it took so long. That's
okay.
I had it labeled, and I'm like, I kept forgetting. And you know what? I'm like, it's 2 weeks. I'll just bring it down with me.
Yep. And it added a personal touch. It was a good gesture. So, and that was Thursday night. Friday was the day we began the journey. Now, Turf, it was in Arkansas, and the two of us, and Charles, Jenny, and myself decided to meet him and his brother at this place in Little Rock, which I'll get to in a minute. So, I took the wheel first while Jenny could recover, because waking Jenny up is a process. It's delicate. It's she's a lady. She needs her beauty rest, all that stuff. But we were out the door between 7:30 and 8. We made good. It was fine. No rush hour traffic or anything like that in the morning. So we got through Memphis. Eventually got to Arkansas. My first time in Arkansas. It's a very pretty state. Saw the Little Rock skyline, or some of the buildings. I don't know if it has a skyline. I can't tell. But we saw it, and the journey was going good, and we decided to meet Turf at this address he sent us. We didn't know what this address was. Eventually, the GPS takes us to this address, and I see a gravel road. I see dust and like desert setting everywhere. I thought I was kind of stepping back in time, or I don't know what the hell this was going on. As soon as he pulled in that damn driveway, I was like, what the fuck has Turf gotten me into? What the hell is this? You have to understand, guys, I'm a white yuppie from the suburbs, so the thought of all this grime and dust and dirt everywhere, I'm like, this is so not me. And Jenny was
these big spools.
Yeah, you saw these.
I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
Jenny was feeling the same way. So we get out of the car. We think we're in the right place. Turf and his brother in their big, manly pickup truck pull on in, and after we said our hellos and hey, good to see you, I immediately asked Turf, what the hell is this shit? And the place was called Let's Make a Deal, and I've been doing a lot of talking right now, so it's time we talk about Let's Make a Deal, because that was an adventure. Turf, tell us a little bit about this place, first of all.
Okay, well, let's just back up a little bit. I just gave these guys an address. I didn't tell them what they were going to. I just said, hey, just meet me here. It's, at this, so-and-so whatever street in Little Rock.
Yep.
So I sent it to him, and then I get get messages on my phone saying, seriously? What is this? Is this a thing?
And I sent you a picture of those spools.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like electrical spools, like the big wire would be on. Anyways, I get out, we say our hellos, and I said, boys, y'all are in for a treat. And boy, were they.
Oh, yes.
This store is it's just a junk store. This dude buys like storage buildings, and he's a guy about our age, maybe a little bit older. That's just a kind of a nerdy dude. So he calls out all the cool nerdy stuff out of these buildings, or the storage lockers that he gets. And so, he'll have all kinds of like Ninja Turtle toys and He-Man toys and video games and stuff like that. So I'm like, here we go, boys. It's a cool little treasure, little treat. And you can dig through these boxes, and everything's priced astronomically high that is priced. But by the time you get you a pile and it might add up to $500, like, dude, I'll give you $100. Like, yeah, that's fair. So I mean, you can get some really good deals if you're dealing with the owner. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Oh,
but yeah, we got in there, and the owner didn't happen to be there that day. He was off talking to his girlfriend or something. Yeah, his girlfriend came in from out of town, so he was spending time with her. So we didn't get to make too good of a deals that day because they wouldn't let the young feller make the deals that the owner can. As you would expect. The kid can't do everything. So
we got back up for just 1 second. This young feller came out and greeted us like a gentleman, and he told us the policy of this place. There was these bins everywhere, and you can dig through them. And if I'm not mistaken, everything in those bins was $5. Is that right?
No, everything.
You fill a bag.
You fill a bag for $5.
It's behind the imaginary red line.
Oh yes, he said there was an imaginary red line, and this Forrest Gumpy individual led us through this maze of bins filled with just yard sale goodness. Crap. Thank you. It was crap. So
we're going to go ahead and say we're not going to say that he probably was above being actually intellectually deficient. He wasn't it wasn't a medical diagnosis, but he wasn't super sharp. So we'll just
that's why I said Forrest Gump.
Yeah, he was he's high enough that we can laugh, but low enough to be like a typical Arkansan. So that's he was stereotypical.
I'll just say, like, you say you're country, but he is country.
Yeah, that dude. Yeah,
he is. Catfish sandwiches.
Yeah,
he's like stereotypical country boy.
Yeah, he was very country, and he was very impressed. See, I'd take through the year I buy stuff at yard sales and flea markets and stuff for a low price, and I take it to Retropalooza every year, and I get a booth as a vendor, and then I try to sell stuff and try to raise money for some higher priced items that I wouldn't normally buy. That's what I do. Anyways, I'm a reseller 1 day a year or 2 days a year. Anyway, so I have a truckload, like 32 systems, and 4 totes of games. I've just got all this stuff, or 3 totes of games and some toys and things. This guy, I said, man, if y'all are interested, I'd drop it off all right here. If if you're willing to, give me some cash,
make a deal.
If you want to make a deal, I got you. So he's like, oh no, you don't. He's like, yeah, y'all got a few things for sale. Well, bring it in here and see. I was like, well, man, I can't. Literally the truck bed is full. So we go out there and he's like, oh my gosh, he's got a truckload of game stations. And if he said game station one time, he said it 142. I'm pretty sure was the number. He was really impressed by the number of game stations that were in the back of that truck and the totes of games. So he calls the owner. He's like, he's got a truckload. I've never seen anything like this. He's got a truckload of game stations. He's got all these game stations. And it was an experience. It was definitely something that I'm glad I got to be part of. But
and I will say this in the store's defense, they had some stuff I would never thought I would find.
Oh yeah.
Like the term "let's make a deal." I'm not so crazy about that name because a deal wasn't totally made. But man, all that stuff there. A Barry Manilow 8-track. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
But yeah. Just to try to the Oldsmobile 8-track was awesome. To try to kind of paint a picture to our audience, people that might be listening to this, they had 3 or 4, I'm not really sure, top loaders. NES 101s. There's not just a whole lot of those everywhere, but they had 3 or 4 of them. They had Saturns, yeah.
I didn't see those. I would have bought one.
I tried to buy 2 of them, and they wouldn't sell them to me because they were untested.
We'll talk about that in a minute too.
They were sitting on the ground.
Yeah, they were on the ground, and that's when the owner's in there. And just like a lot of places, you can go in there and you're like, hey, how much for that? It's untested. I'll give you $20 for it. And he had like stuff like an Atari 2600 in the box, and he had, just some crazy stuff,
mm-hmm.
and that they had in this just dump of a store. This dirty, nasty, just like you would like. It was like the old school junk stores that you could go in like the early 2000s before like Goodwill got to be really flashy and like people, Pawn Stars came on and pawn shops got to be kind of classy. When they were nasty and dirty and just had like stolen power tools, that's what this place is like. So we went in there, we tried to make a deal. The owner finally came down, and the owner was he was none too happy with the young man who had let me get stuff from behind the counter and make a pile and try to make a deal. So there was that. He wasn't interested in buying my stuff. The owner was not real happy with our young compadre, but we did all right, man. It was fun anyhow. We got to go on, and we got to hear about some crazy stuff that that most people, the general public, just does not get to hear that stuff.
No. See, apparently before working at Let's Make a Deal, the person who was guiding us before, I guess, worked as a game developer, tester, something.
Tester is what he said.
Oh yeah, for Sony or something like that.
For something like Sony, yeah, I think it was for Sony. I was in and out of the conversation because I was looking at all the stuff. But if memory serves, he claimed he could make a PS4.
No, PS3.
I'm sorry, PlayStation 3. Thank you. Turn into what was it again?
A PS4 or a PS5?
A PS5, America. Did you hear that? This guy, he told this tale, and I think when I heard the term PlayStation 5, we all did a quick 180. Like, did he just say that? So, hey, whatever makes him sleep well at night, I don't know. Whatever tall tale he's telling.
He sold it on eBay for $2,000.
Did he really? He said that?
That's what he said.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. He was spitting a yarn.
He was nice guy. So nice.
Yeah, he was a nice guy. He was a character. But and he was trying to tell us how we needed to approach the owner and how I needed to phrase making a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, I got this. So, anyways, Let's Make a Deal was a lot of fun. There was a lot of really odd stuff in there. I was disappointed that I didn't get to make a deal with the owner because when I go in there, I usually get a lot of good toys and a lot of I've gotten a lot of my Ninja Turtle stuff in there and just odd stuff that you don't ever see. I've got a Mickey Mouse Yoda that you could only get at Disney World.
Yeah,
the Vinylmation, I think is what they're called. I got one of those in there one time. Just random weird stuff, and it's just fun to dig through.
Absolutely. I was gonna buy some stuff, but after the owner came down and kind of yelled at the guy, my pile of stuff started to decrease, and eventually I just walked away with. I did walk away with something though. We have a souvenir. This is a Legend of Mana sampler soundtrack. It's pretty good. Only 5 songs on it, but hey, all 5 of them. Just kidding. 4 of the 5 of them are fun to listen to. So hey, I have a souvenir from Let's Make a Deal. And I bought something whilst I was at this place in Arkansas.
I almost bought that huge fucking knife. The big folding knife.
You should have.
It was at least 18 inches. That was a giant knife. That was very Chicago.
So after Let's Make a Deal, we loaded back up in the cars and we pulled off maybe a few miles later, got some lunch, ate, caught up, and became fat and sassy, got full, got satiated, headed back to the car, and then we followed Turf to another destination in Arkansas. This was a game store called help me out here. Was it
Game Room Trading Post?
Yeah, Game Room Trading Post. Yes, in what part of Arkansas?
Malvern is the name.
In Malvern, Arkansas. So we walked in there, and it was wall-to-wall stuff. I had never in any game store I've been in my entire life as a gamer. I have never seen so much merchandise just in one little. I mean, the store's not even that big. Like,
it's got a lot of square footage,
dude. That's a big store. That's like a big store. House. Yeah,
maybe didn't feel that because I was just surrounded by crap everywhere.
A lot of stuff in there. That's the biggest game store I've ever been in. And I've been in game stores from coast to coast, and that is the hands down probably 2 times as big as any other game store I've been in. It's massive because there is, we got to talking to the owners. It's 2 brothers that run it.
They're awesome.
Well, Jimmy, and I can't remember his brother's name. Anyways, he's not as talkative as Jimmy. He's not quite the character, so you don't pick up his name. But
sorry,
and we got to dig and look, and they let us go back behind the counters and look at stuff, and we spent an hour or so in there. We were in the back room pillaging through it. It was an experience, man, and we found some really cool stuff. I think my brother found a little Super Nintendo shelf, that holds like 10 games. I think.
Nice.
Charles, didn't you got a Japanese Super Game Boy?
Super Game Boy, Track and Field, the came of it, and Donkey Kong Land. Focus.
There it is.
Or Or they call it Super Donkey Kong GB for the Game Boy in Japan.
Yep, and I walked away with some import titles. Most of them are gone now from Retropalooza, but I held onto this one, Star Gladiator. It's a game I wanted for a long time. The English version is crazy expensive. This was free, basically free.
Yeah.
So, I mean, duh.
Yeah,
of course, man.
we get up to the counter and everybody had some stuff piled up. I said, hey, we're going to buy all this all together because that's how you make deals. You bundle. So we got the big bundle thing going and said, all right, guys, what's the damage? And he's like, well, if you're buying this, this, and this, we're going to throw this in. So I think all the Japanese stuff, except with the Game Boy, we had a pile of stuff. We had like $150 worth of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it was $70.
Yeah.
Yep, the 70.
So, I mean, they went cutting deals. I wish, if I'd have known what kind of deals they were going to be cutting, I would have dug through there and I would have gone through the like Super Famicom games a little bit harder and tried to find something that I even kind of wanted. Because, some of the stuff, it interests me. So I'd like to, maybe there was a Proteus in there. I really want a Proteus die. And there might have been something like that in there. Was it Wah World for the Famicom that I'm wanting? Anyways, that's a different story.
Well, either way, there's always, next year, if we do the driving thing, that's definitely got to be a stop because that place was so cool. And the owners, they were great. They were so courteous, so helpful, and man, just 5 stars all around. Great store.
Mm-hmm.
So, so after the game room trading post, we had loaded back the cars, and we hightailed it all the way to our hotel in Arlington, Texas. I don't think we got there until, I would say, maybe like 9 p.m. We stopped once for gas, just for a quick fill up. And yeah, we got to our hotel. While Charles, Jenny, and I checked in, Turf and his bro were setting up the booth. So we got our badges early. We didn't have to wait in line. That was great. And then, we met up with them in the convention center floor. Huge space. Wasn't quite as full as I thought it would be at the time, but that's because it was early before the con. And we started getting our parents' basement tables set up. We had some nice blue cloths for our tables.
Yes,
we're very classy. They were nice accent pieces, and set up our banner. And I think that was basically about it because it was a long day. A lot of driving.
I was going to say one thing about driving there. At some point, because like Turf was ahead of us at some point. Then all of a sudden, somehow, Jenny and her driving, we just flew past him, not even knowing it. The next thing we know, we're 10 miles ahead of him.
Well, I was driving. Okay, when we got back after Malvern, I was waiting on y'all to come to catch up with me. So I drove 60 on the interstate for probably 30 miles. And I did not know that they'd blown past me right after they got right behind me.
Yeah, I didn't either.
They blew past me. So I'm like, hey, I'm at mile marker, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, we're at blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, y'all are ahead of me. So, of course, then the old Ford put the hammer down and we hit the road and we caught up with them right when we got fuel right outside of Texarkana.
Yeah.
Which is a funny name for a place, by the way, Texarkana.
Well, it's right on the Texas-Arkansas line. The state line runs to go down.
It just doesn't. It amused me for some reason, but I'm easily amused, so who knows?
And Jenny too.
Yeah.
She's like, what did they run out of ideas for names?
On the way there as well, I forgot to mention Charles, in charge, introduced me to the crazy go nuts world of punk music.
Yeah, some street punk or oi.
What's it? Oi,
or street punk.
Okay, well, not my genre of music, I've learned, but hey, a lot of this road tripping part was a learning experience, and I learned, okay, maybe I won't go to a punk show anytime soon. But hey, I'm glad I listened to it, and I'm glad I gave it a shot, and most importantly, I'm glad that Jenny was able to help with the driving. She's awesome, and super thankful that she was along for the ride as well.
Yeah, and she likes to drive and drive fast.
Yes.
Yeah, she was commenting on Arkansas and Texas's speeds because apparently y'all can only go 60 up there in Chicago,
Yeah.
But we can put the hammer down. We can. It's 75 in Texas, so
So she was doing like 80, 90 at some point.
there we go.
Sorry.
I didn't realize how fast she was going either. Because when she was driving, I was in the back seat, just nibbling on some snacks, and
You have your DS.
And napping. And
I was trying to
napping.
nap. I tried to nap. I tried really hard, but it wasn't happening. So, but yes, I was playing my DS a little bit. I was playing a little bit Mega Man on my 3DS, Mega Man 4. Good times were had by me when I wasn't dying in that game. So, what did anything else noteworthy happen on Friday? I kind of rushed through that, didn't I? So
Friday, we just got down there, and then we got our little bit set up for the night before, and then we got back. We called it a night pretty early. I think y'all may have gone out for something to eat. I don't know.
Jenny and I did.
yeah,
We
Mr.
tried to
Nikon
get
and Jenny
some food.
went out for Sonic.
That's where we ended up at Sonic.
Yeah, like an hour and a half later, they came back.
The goddamn Rangers game, fucked up traffic.
Right.
It did do that. Traffic was pretty salty right there.
Not as bad as Cubs traffic, but
Well, and our hotel was like right next to a stadium and like the interstate, and Texas. That part of Texas, Arlington, is really confusing to drive through anyway. So, I mean, yeah, it was just a perfect storm of nonsense for those two. But they got their food. They made it back to the hotel. The hotel was really nice, by the way. So
Yes.
thanks for the Sheraton for our shenanigans. And as soon as they got back, Mr. Nikon set up the Super Famicom for the next day.
Yes.
And trying to think if there's anything else that happened Friday. I feel like I'm missing something that happened, but Sheriff, am I missing anything other than the drive? And
Y'all got down it was about noon. My
Yeah.
brother and I we left the house at like 7 and dropped my son off at school, and then we went like trash digging and going through stores and stuff while we waited on y'all to get to Little Rock. So we turned what should have been about a 7-hour drive for us into about a 13-hour drive. So
yep, yeah, buddy.
we made a day of it. Didn't really.
Good.
I found an Atari on the way down and
Nice.
some Nintendo hookups.
oh, that's the Atari you sold at the place.
Yeah, I sold that. I bought it for $2.
And that's
So,
when I popped into 3 games for you.
Yeah, I think we ended up selling it for $10. So
Yeah.
Nice.
appreciate that.
That is great. Not too bad at all.
Yeah, somebody was pumped when they got it. And of course, I mean, I wasn't looking to make a killing it, but a little bit of cash towards purchases.
Yes, which I'm also really excited to go over. So yeah, that about sums up what happened on Friday. It was mainly, the main thing was driving, but let's make a deal. Never thought I'd set foot in a place like that, but I have. It was an experience. It was great, and the game room training post as well. That was super cool. It was a great day all around. I don't like long car drives, but that was a great day. I was sad to see it go. However, Saturday was the main day of the convention of Retropalooza IV. God, it was so much fun. I mean, and we got up at the crack of dawn, and it was nonstop the entire time. We got up, I'd say around 7 or 7:30, and we went to breakfast. Jenny was still asleep, by the way, so just the 4 guys went to breakfast. We watched Herf as he parked that massive pickup truck in a little tiny space. He had to move in and out in that tight little
It was artfully
crevice.
done. It was artfully done.
It was artfully done. Yes.
But you got a backup camera and the little radar that beeps when you get too close to like small children and other things,
And accoutrements.
Oh, it helps. I ain't gonna lie, it helps.
Oh yeah, it's a modern marvel. So after breakfast, we got back to our room and we all reconvened at the convention floor.
woke Jenny up.
Woke Jenny up. Yep. So when we got to the convention floor, a lot more people were there, and we got our booth set up pretty quickly. So a lot of us took the time to just walk around and do some browsing, maybe do a little shopping, maybe just scope out the competition. Let's see who we got around us. And
What
I had to say,
competition?
everyone around. What was that?
What competition? There's no competition of us around.
I mean, why they even try? This is OPB we're talking about. I mean, they don't know what they're dealing with. Yeah, but everyone who was selling stuff as well, for the most part, everyone was really cool. Just chatted with a bunch of neighbors, and it was neat. Now, remind me, what time did the doors actually open for the general public?
Everybody got in at 9 o'clock. It was, and
9
I think it was probably about 5 or 10 after before they finally let everybody in. You know, as these things go, not everything goes 100% as planned. So, you know,
Right.
it took them a few minutes to get the kinks ironed out, but then the doors opened up and there was a line. There was a line, probably, what would you say, probably 200 people deep. I mean, it was
Absolutely.
It was a pretty healthy line just to get in this shindig.
Yeah, and because we were vendors, we had early access, no lines to worry about. When we go next year, we may not have as much merchandise, but damn it, we gotta do the vendor pass thing again, because I don't like lines. I don't think anyone does, but that just made things just so much easier.
I think next year we're gonna do an artist pass. See if we can get an artist table and just promote the podcast and not really sell anything, and just that way we don't have to worry about lines. We have a place to call home base like we did this year, which is really nice, and then we won't have to watch the booth. We can go wander around as much as we want.
Mm-hmm. We could have OPB play in the background. Yeah. And it's funny you mentioned that, Mr. Nikon, about spending more money. Oftentimes, you know, even though we were up and at 'em early, it was still a pretty long day. So oftentimes I would go to get coffee or something like that, stretch my legs. Every time I came back, I always had a new purchase in my hands.
Yes, you did.
Every damn time.
You really did.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Oh, he has another game. Okay, I'm gonna go say hi to this person. Oh, another game.
I don't even know how many games you freaking bought there.
All
I know is you could barely close your suitcase.
Yeah, but so worth it. So worth it. But Saturday was obviously the main day, and just so many highlights were going on. Like I'm not even sure where to begin. So why don't we begin with something I'm very happy about, the shirt I was wearing. It was a Golden Girls shirt, and people who recognized it loved it. They're like, "Oh my God, I love your shirt." And I'm like, "You're my new best friend. Who's your favorite Golden Girl?" And then some people were like, "Well, I don't know their names." And I'm like, "Okay, we're not friends anymore. Just go away." I mean, how can you not know their names?
Still take our card.
Yeah, so that's another thing we should talk about. You know, we at OPB, we're very professional. So we had professional business cards, and we came to the booth with a stack, like 2 huge stacks, and now
they're gone.
They're all gone. Now that's kind of partially my fault, because I was handing them out, like giving them away, like, "Hey, check out our podcast. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio. Check us out. Give us a listen. You like us on Facebook, that whole thing." Every time I handed out a card, I try to give our little plug. So I felt like I was selling hookers in Vegas. I was handing these cards out so quickly. So
I thought you were selling hookers in Vegas too.
yeah, live nudes. But I'm rambling because I'm on the adrenaline of remembering all the good stuff. Mr. Nikon Turf, you take what else happened on Saturday? Well, there's so much.
It's okay. This is the first time that we've all talked about everything that happened, so we're kind of reliving it as we go, just so everybody that's listening is reliving this with us. So it's man, Saturday was cool. You know, the doors opened up, people just come in. I love these things because you've got a giant convention center full of like-minded people. Everybody's just there for games. They're there for old toys. It's our parents' basement convention without us putting it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was everything that this podcast is about in a convention. And man, it was so much fun just to talk to people. People come by and buy our stuff, and they would tell us like, "Oh, I had one of those when I was a kid," and then we'd talk about it, and maybe they didn't end up buying something, maybe they wouldn't, but it's really neat. And another thing that I love about these conventions, especially this one and Super BitCon, because Super BitCon's in Oklahoma City. It's pretty close to the same geographical location, about 3-4 hours away. I get to see the same people. People like the Bad Graphics Gamers. Get to see those guys and hang out with them. The Buzzy and Jared are great dudes.
Tallywhackers, but great dudes.
They're tallywhackers. Billy Mack. Man, if you're in this circle, you probably know who Billy Mack is. He's a generally just good dude, and I love him. I'd hug him right now if he was here. My buddy Phil, got to hang out with him. I get to see him a couple times a year. It's just cool to see these people, hang out with them, and just catch up. It's such a good time for me, man. I love it.
And we're all there because we love video games so much.
Oh yeah.
And it's just that's one of the things I really liked about Retropalooza. Actually, or any video game convention, we all like this hobby at an equal level, which is great. I mean, in the everyday life, it's hard for me to find folks who like gaming and just nerding out as much as I do. So being surrounded by everyone who loves to do that, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, does it?
Really, really a rare occurrence when I'm not the biggest nerd in the room. That's
yeah.
That's without a doubt. So I mean, that's one of the things that I don't get to talk about this stuff that I'm really passionate about every day. But when I go to this thing, everybody there is just as passionate, if not more, than me. It's just so cool to just carry on and talk, and the things that the general public, people outside these walls, don't have a clue about. But we're talking about it like it should be common knowledge. And that's just really, really cool to me, and I just have such a blast doing it, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a weight range of the nerd scales over there.
Really was.
Yeah, you're a little like I haven't heard you guys who are like pegging the scale, who are like.
Oh, I mean, without a doubt, and everybody's their own person. There is different levels, and there's different types, I guess, of nerds. But there was the socially awkward. There's the guys like me that talk a little too much. There's just the ones of us that can pass for normal people every day. But there's
they walk amongst us.
Yeah, we're like the daywalkers of nerds. But there were people that that sure enough pegged the scale. There were the stereotypical, and there was the people that you did like. God, man, you shouldn't. Even to me, they're like, you shouldn't be here. These aren't your people. But man, these are our people. Yep. It's right there amongst everybody. It's great to see people and you see people that from all ranges of life, coming together just for this love of video games. It didn't, race, language, creed, whatever kind of person you are, that's secondary to you're a gamer, you were a nerd, you were a geek, whatever you want to call it. Exactly. That's everything else was secondary to that. And I dig that because and as kind of weird and I guess stereotypical and whatever this sounds, I really wish people would push everything else aside and just be people. And that's kind of what we did. That's what everybody did. It didn't matter what you were, what you did outside, how much, what kind of job you had, what kind of social status, any of that stuff. You were just there for games, and it was awesome.
Yep. Everyone had the same mentality of, I'm a gamer, I can buy a game here, and it was one, or toys or whatever. And it was great. It was so awesome.
And another thing, there were several of these people that are YouTube personalities. There was a lot of guests there, but those guys, they're just dudes. That's one thing I really like about Retropalooza is they do have these bigger name guys like Alpha Omega Sin was there. He's Boogie 2988. Boogie's got like 3 million followers or subscribers on YouTube. He's huge, and he'll stop and talk to everybody. Even though you can. It's hard to talk to him because there's always a line. There's always a group of people around him, but these guys. They're just dudes, and they don't treat it like they're superstars or they're better than anybody else. They're just another person there enjoying the convention. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yep. No pretentiousness at all.
And about selling stuff, we all brought stuff down to sell.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Yeah, I brought a lot of stuff, and I brought a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, but Turk had the most stuff to sell.
He brought a lot of game stations.
Yeah, I had all those game stations, and I sold the vast majority of it, man. It was most of my games were gone, and I had a bunch of games. So I didn't sell as many systems as I'd like to, but I'll work on that later.
Yeah,
makes a great gift.
But
I had a few games to sell too.
Brought several Atari games, and you sold most of those, and sold a lot of your comics.
I sold all the comics.
Oh, you did sell all the comics. Good.
All the comics. I sold everything, all my games except for Donkey Kong.
I didn't know you sold all your comics.
Oh,
you had a stack way high, America. So,
dude, that kid who on that last day, the last batch I had, I'm like, you want some comics? I had like 14, 15 left. You know, I'll try to sell them for like $1 a piece. You know, like, I'll sell you all these comics here on the table, $10. And his eyes just open up. I think, all of them?
Oh,
$10? I'm like, yeah. Hang on. He runs to go get his dad. I see his dad in the background shaking his head no. I'm like oh, maybe. Then he comes back with some money. I'm like, here. He had his little Superman wallet. Took the rest of the money out. I'm like, here you go, kid. Enjoy.
see, that's the thing here. It's making people's days a little bit brighter. You know, I mean, there's such a good feeling when you find something you want, and it's right there in front of you, and you buy it. And I think it's time. Speaking of which, we kind of talk about some of the purchases we made, because when it comes to buying some stuff, we don't mess around. So, Mr. Nikon, besides that really awesome Super Game Boy and those 2 games, did you buy anything else whilst there?
I did. I bought some Famicom games.
Oh, let's see what you got. Now, when we're playing audio only, so...
Yeah, so I got Mappy.
Oh, and the
Excellent
mouse.
game.
Yes.
Yes.
I got the Goonies. The first
Dude,
Goonies.
nice.
I wish I would have bought that, because I saw that over at that vendor and I was like, man, I should have bought. It didn't register me. I was thinking it was Goonies too. And then it didn't register. That the only play I can play that is on my Play Choice 10, which I had.
Yeah. I got Kid Dracula.
Oh, good. I know you got... Jeez, I'm like at a loss of words. This is awesome. I know you got all these.
Have you played Kid Dracula yet?
I popped it in for a few minutes and it didn't.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah. Clue Land.
I heard that was fun.
Excellent game.
And what is it? I got picked up a Hypershot controller, that goes with the Hyper Olympic.
Yeah.
For track and field.
Yeah. For track and
It was from Konami.
Yeah, not Hypershot, the Uzi looking gun, which that's something I want to get at some point.
Sure.
And that's all I bought at the convention. I know I did get the I do talk about Game Boy. Church just handed me a Game Boy that he had, because Jenny's Game Boy screen was shot.
Thanks again for that, Turf.
Yeah,
You're a
we'll
good
take care of our people.
Yes, thank you. And I know I got some N64 games. I said you hook him up at N64, so I got that guy now.
Nice.
I'm glad you grabbed that, because I'd completely forgot
It's
to
all
give it to
good.
you.
Worries. And Super Off-Road, the Baja.
Oh yeah, that was from Turf as
Super
well.
Nintendo, yeah.
Turf.
Yeah,
are
thank you
paying
for all that
forward.
stuff. And at the end, when he's packing stuff up, he had a power pad he tried to sell. Which I am getting a power pad, which that's too big to hold here.
Yeah.
And a little Game Genie for the Game Boy,
Nice. Man.
which Jenny doesn't understand.
Women. Totally kidding. I'm totally kidding.
It's so you can cheat.
explain it to her, and it just wasn't registering at all. Not at all.
And also, I tried to finish selling this for you, the Panobi. No, so I came home with me.
It's yours.
Awesome. I just gotta get a Game Boy Advance now.
You don't have a Game Boy Advance.
No, soon.
Oh,
Soon.
do you have a regular DS?
I do. I have a 3DS.
No, okay, I won't play on that. Oh,
Yeah.
oh well, something else to look forward to getting.
Yeah.
Very nice. You made out pretty well. Looks like, my friend.
Yeah, I did. You made out pretty well too.
Well, I got
some games.
Like I said, every time I walk, came back with some stuff. Goodies. So let's just break it down. I got the Ogre Battle 64 strategy guide. Made a deal for that. Super excited about it. I got strategy guide of all time, the Final Fantasy IX strategy guide. This is a piece of shit, but I love the artwork. And the guy who traded it to me, I traded him one of my games I was trying to sell for it, and he said he would email me about another game he had. He hasn't emailed me back yet, so if you're listening to this, I'm still waiting for my email. I want that game you have for me. I got Evil Zone for the PlayStation 1, a fighting game that's heavily anime inspired. It's not very good, but it's got pretty anime girls, and it's kind of fierce, so that's fun. I got Castlevania Circle of the Moon, complete in the box. This is the last Castlevania game I needed for the Game Boy Advance. I have all 3 of them now. Played it for a little bit. Super fun. Super underrated for compared to the other ones on the Game Boy Advance. Love this game. I got Magic Knight Rare for the Super Famicom. So much fun. I got the English patch for it going, so I can play it in English. And I love the anime. I love the game on the Saturn, and this is just, making me relive all those good memories.
Did you get that from the guy that was down on the end past us? Had all the import stuff. Is that where you got that one?
That's right.
Okay.
Probably where you saw Romancing Saga too, as well. That same guy. Yeah. But my biggest thing I'm excited about, and this is before the doors open to the general public. I was walking around, and 2 booths down was a guy selling nothing but Game Boy games and Game Boy Color games, and they had this game I was looking for forever, Kirby Star Stacker, and the price they gave, I was like, well, will you do $10 less? And they said yes. So not only did I get a game that I have been looking for years, just like forever, because it's a rare Game Boy game, I got for a super awesome deal. So this isn't like the first, maybe half hour that we were there, you guys. So yeah. I knew it was going to be a good day, just based on this alone. I could have walked away with just this. Obviously, I didn't, because I love spending money irresponsibly. But this is like my favorite purchase.
Stacker? I've never played it. What do you do in that one?
It's a puzzle game, kind of like your Tetrises or Dr. Mario's, but instead of trying to clear the area where the stuff falls, you're trying to produce stars by sandwiching star blocks between 2 like blocks, and then you can make chain reactions and stuff like that. So, I mean, I made out like a bandit. I had so much fun buying all this stuff and looking at the wares. But yeah, so that's what I came back with. Turf, how about you?
Oh boy.
I know
you didn't buy anything, did you? You didn't get anything at all.
I picked up a few things. Like the first one, and I don't even know what order. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll go in the order that I picked things up. First thing I got was King's Quest for the Master System.
All right.
It's probably my favorite PC series, a point-and-click series of games. I don't know how well it's going to be on the Master System because I haven't played it yet. But it's I've been wanting it. I've been wanting to just add it to my collection just because it's King's Quest. I like this stuff. I don't know what order I got stuff in, so that was a horrible idea. I got this one because I'm a 7-year-old child. Well, probably about a 13-year-old boy at heart. I saw the name. I don't care what the game's about because I've already gotten my $5 worth of enjoyment out of it. I bought a game called Booby Kids.
All right.
Booby Kids.
Wait, what was it? I didn't hear you. What was it called again? One more time, just.
Booby Kids. I don't know, man. I don't even know. It's just it said booby on it, so I bought it, and I laughed. I was still laughing when I got back to the table after buying it. I was like, "Hey, booby kids! Ha ha!
I got booby kids.
I got boobies."
Boobs.
Let's see. I bought this. Actually, was the last thing I bought. This was on the way out. Another. I got a deal on it. It's about an $80 game these days, and I got
Fantasy Star.
Star for the Master System.
Well done.
My man, OK Chief, says this is his favorite game of all time. It's an excellent RPG that everybody says if Final Fantasy wasn't on the NES, if this had been on the NES, you'd be playing Phantasy Star 47 instead of Final Fantasy 47. So that's that was that. Another thing that I got, my man Scott Squatch. If y'all don't know, he's got a channel called Video Game Sellers. He had a bunch of stuff and had like an oddity that I just thought I couldn't live without. And it's Die Scrumph something or other. It's the Smurfs, a PAL NES game. That was that's really, I mean, I PAL NES games or PAL games. I've got all the NES games, so I now PAL is the way I need to go. I guess I kind of want to do that. They interest me. I'd like to get some stuff that wasn't available here. I've already got Pro Protector 1 and 2 that were actually Contra in the European lands. So and then there's the biggie.
What
I said earlier that I take stuff down there and then I buy something I normally wouldn't buy because it's just financially out of reach. And Daddy's got bills to pay. You can't just be blowing lots of money on games. So I sold stuff. I made enough money. I raised enough money to buy these little things that I bought. And the last NES game that I will ever, or North American licensed NES game that I'll ever buy, except for label upgrades and stuff like that. Flintstones Surprise at Dinosaur Peak.
Well done.
Yeah, it's the real deal, man. It's yeah, that's I can thank my good buddies Buzz and Jared from the Bad Graphics Gamers. They gave me a reasonable price on it. It was not cheap, but you know that's what we fundraised for, right? That's what we did. But yeah, they helped me out in finding that and getting that. So man, I owe those guys big. That was the last thing. So just for Jared, that's his thing. The kiss it to the heavens. Yeah, that was the last NES game that I'm gonna get. So, whew.
It's a crazy. It must be a crazy feeling knowing that you have
really
all the
is.
NES.
Yeah, I mean, they're all there. They're right over there. All of them. All and then they're I can get the unlicensed stuff, I guess, but it doesn't interest me as much as the PAL stuff. So I think that's where I'm gonna go. I've been looking at like Euphoria and stuff like that because the Save Your Change. I don't know if y'all have been doing that for the for VG Collect. We have that Save Your Change, folks, 2 times a year. It's coming up, so I figure Euphoria is about $100 game. My jar holds about $100 worth of change, and it's full, so I'll be able to buy that with that money. So that's going to be my first or my next PAL game besides Smurfs and the 2 Pro Protectors, I guess.
Awesome, man.
Nice.
We all got some great stuff, and I mean, it sounds like that's how it's been every year at Retropalooza. You just walk away with cool stuff, and I mean, a little bit of financial debt. So worth it, though. I mean, it doesn't.
Well, last year I walked away with little Samson and some other stuff. So
yeah,
it's been that's what I do. I save all my stuff, and then I go sell it one time a year, and then I just blow a huge wad and buy something stupid. That's right.
Hey.
I saw that one guy just walking around with little Samson in his hands at the convention floor. Like, was it Sunday?
Yeah, he had it in his hand all day long. Like, hey, yeah, he'd bought little Samson. Whew.
You better hold on to that. I mean, someone could snatch it. If he's not careful.
Yeah, it's how long did y'all stay Saturday? I guess we stayed the whole time and then shut her down Saturday, and then we went to supper at the Twisted Root. Which is a burger joint.
So good.
Pretty damn good burgers there.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad something's not better in Chicago for once. That's usually everything's just a little bit better in Chicago.
Well, it's not Kuma's.
Yeah, that's the Charles we know and love.
There he is. He's back.
And but we went to the Twisted Root. We had a couple beers and had some fantastic burgers. I had the Kevin Bacon. It's great. The blue cheese and bacon burger.
I forget what I had. It was yummy. It was buffalo meat.
Did you get the
I got a
freshman
15.
No, he did. Yeah.
Jenny got it, but she got the bison.
Yeah, I got a bison burger. I forget which name it was, but so good. And I mean, I was still hungry afterwards, but so good. And definitely want to go back next time we're there.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, well, then after our delicious burgers and good times and laughter and all that, which apparently we got out of there just in time because like all the guests from the convention went there after we left. Anyway, so we went back to the hotel and then we wander up to these gentlemen's room and we went to we got to play in Bomberman on the Super Famicom, which Charles has the Super Famicom and the multi-tap or whatever the Bomberman.
Yeah,
looks like Bomberman's head, which is amazing. So like the coolest accessory ever, or peripheral, whatever you want to call it.
It's Bomberman and booze time.
We're playing
we played Bomberman and drank beer for several hours, or a couple hours anyhow. And it was. I wish we would have been taping it because it got to be pretty hilarious. The names that people were being called and the expeditions that were flying were comedy gold.
They were.
I would love to have had them just for the simple fact that somebody yelled cockwaffle at one point.
I think that was Jenny or something.
It was either you or Jenny. I can't think of stuff like that. That was definitely not me. I don't think it was Turf or Zach.
It was just so ridiculous that it should have been recorded. It deserved to be recorded.
I have all the bombs. That was one of mine. I'll take it.
Which Bomberman were we playing? Was it
3?
Okay, that was man, that's a good time. That's
so fun.
I need more Bomberman in my life. Is there online Bomberman? like on Steam or anything? Is there
I don't know.
There should be.
That'd be
Because that's the party game to end all party games. Smash can take a back seat. Rockman can take a back seat. So Bomberman and a group of people is a party.
Bomberman and beer.
Yep.
That should be like every Thursday. If I wasn't in our parents' basement every Thursday, that's what I would be doing.
Playing some Bomberman. Yeah.
Charles brought some Chicago style beers. Delicious. Thank you for bringing those, Charles.
Revolution Brewing.
Yep.
I
brought some Nashville stuff, but we didn't drink it, so it's all good. But
thank you for not putting it in the cooler because I would have drank it.
Yeah, you should have. You should have had some. Well, you brought some.
I'm glad I ran out.
Yeah, you drink all. You have to have one anti-hero in there.
Yeah, I brought some Arkansas beer and then some. I don't even know where that other one is. The New Belgium Brewing Company. I don't even know where that is, but I brought some Arkansas Lost 40.
Yeah,
day drinker. That's the good stuff. So we all shared. We shared the different beers and from different parts of the country. Enjoyed that, and then after we played Bomberman for a while, I'm just gonna say it. I got antsy, and I was getting my ass kicked at Bomberman. So it was time to go down to the pool where everybody was congregating from the convention. So we got a chance to hang out with a lot of the guests, a lot of the YouTube personalities, if you will, a lot of the crowd that was there at the convention. Everybody kind of went downstairs and cut loose for a while. And let me tell you, it was fun. It was a good time. What I remember of it.
Yeah. See, we should back up just a bit. So when we got down there, I wasn't tired, but for some reason, I guess maybe it's the Texas air or the fact that it all hit me at once, but I got like my sinuses started messing me up. So I was like, all right, guys, I'm going to bed. So I went upstairs, and I think Mr. Nikon and Jenny weren't too far behind. However, Turf did not follow suit, and I'll let him take it away. What happened after that?
After that, I had a cooler full of beer on a small dolly, and we just wandered around, and we stayed out in the pool until they kicked us out. And there was a group of people. There were people from the convention, people that we knew, friends of mine, buddies of mine, that I only get to see, once or twice a year. So I got a chance to talk and catch up. And if you kind of get any idea of who I am from this podcast, I talk a lot, and I talk to new people easily. So, and then on top of that, you add that social lubricant on top of that, that is alcohol. So I was socially lubricated and being me. So I got to talking, and we just making new friends, shaking hands, kissing babies, that thing, just enjoying the crowd, enjoying the like-minded people all unwinding. It was a good time. That went on until midnight. They kicked us out of the pool. 2, they kicked us out of the lobby. And then about, I think 3:30, I kicked everybody out of my room. So that's about how that went. I woke up the next morning to the new mystery that is Retropalooza IV. I'd been got in my shower, and I was, as a man in his mid-30s that drinks like he's in college will feel the next morning, I was hungover.
That's right.
When I say hungover, I had a headache and I was sick of my stomach, and it was awful. Anyways, I'm laying on the bed after I've had my shower, and my brother, who I'm sharing a hotel room with, comes out of the bathroom and goes, "What do I need to do with these swimsuits?" What? With swimsuits? What? I still do not know who swimsuits those were. No idea. But anyways, they were there. I left them there because they weren't mine. I didn't even look to what size they were. They might have been mine. I don't know. I may have bought them. I don't know.
Hey, it was a crazy night.
It got a little out of hand, but it was. I didn't get kicked out of the hotel room, so there was that. So it didn't get too bad. But we had a good time, and then of course,
came Sad Sunday.
We got up the next morning, and Sad Sunday came, and we had to see our man Cashel off. He had to be at the airport by about 9 o'clock. So,
which by the way,
we had to bid him a sweet farewell.
Wasn't that I could have stayed a little bit longer. The Lyft driver was efficient. He got me there on time, and no problems checking stuff in. So I mean, oh well, next time I'll stay longer. But yeah.
Yeah, it was a party, that's for sure.
Yeah, I gotta say, one of my favorite parts of it was I promised myself I wouldn't get emotional, is seeing Mr. Nikon and Turf in the flesh. We do this podcast, obviously, and this is how we talk to each other most of the time. So actually being able to hang out with these guys is something I look forward to. They are wonderful people. I probably talk to them more than I talk to like my other friends or my family, which is kind of weird, but I mean, hey, that's just how it goes. We formed this thing, and being able to actually promote it and try to advertise for it and just have a ball at this awesome convention. It's a shared experience. It feels like band of brothers without getting shot at. So yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite parts of it too.
Without a doubt. I mean, just like you said, I talk to you guys nearly every day. It's we have a Facebook message group that is going all the time, and we hang out once a week for at least an hour. It's nice to hang out with y'all in flesh. It's awesome. We get to do it at the Louisville Arcade Expo. We get to do it at Retropalooza, which are about right at 6 months apart. And then we may add another convention or two somewhere along the way, just depending on how things work out. But those two for sure, I definitely want to set those in stone. That 2 times a year, one weekend we get to hang out, so it's
yep,
it's gonna be awesome.
Definitely. And what time did the doors close on Sunday?
I think the doors closed at 5 o'clock on Sunday.
Okay.
But we packed up at about 2:30, Charles.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I'd sold out of everything good, and
I just sold out of everything but that Donkey Kong.
So we just packed up and loaded what we had left in the truck, and then me and my brother, we said goodbye to Charles and Jenny, and they had to hit the road for their long trip. And then after that, me and Zach, we caught 2 more panels. We went to the Gaming Historian and Pixel Dan panel. They're coming out with a new YouTube show, so shout out to my boys Norm and Pixel Dan. Those guys, they're doing a show called From Plastic to Pixels, which is games based on toy properties. So those guys are doing that, and it was cool to see the premiere of their first episode. So be sure you check out Pixel Dan's channel. That'll be on there. And then we, after that, we stayed for the final panel that was just like the majority of the guests got up on stage and just do a Q&A. And then we hit the road and headed back. And Retropalooza was just a flash in the memory and a speck in the rear view.
Yep. Can't believe it's over already. All this build up to it kind of feels like when you're, I don't know, going on a huge vacation, you're anticipating, and then it happens, and then it's gone. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was fun. Other thing I remember, Turf trying to do my Chicago accent.
That was like the highlight of Sunday. I was Jenny and Charles were trying to teach me to speak like I was from Chicago, and I sometimes I went a little too far north, and I sounded like I was from Wisconsin. But
you sound like from Wisconsin right now.
Oh, sorry, man. I'm doing my best, and then I turned Canadian. But I've been trying. I've been trying to tour tree things over there, and
tree.
Use guys tour tree. Try to push the buttons, and
you're going more of Wisconsin there.
I keep going further north.
Oh, good.
But I did my from Chicago on the northwest side. And
see, at one point I did my southern accent. I got these here comic books for you. They're all $1 a piece.
You don't sound southern at all. I'm sorry. You just
it sounds about as southern as I sound like I'm from Chicago. That's
oh man, that's pretty funny.
We were tired, and I'd recovered, and I'd spent an obscene amount of money on a game, so I didn't care anymore. And so people were coming up to our booth, and I'm just trying to use this ridiculous Chicago accent.
Oh, that's great.
They were just looking at me like, is this boy okay? Is he? Where's his leash?
He's like, yeah, he
drank too much last night.
It was so fun, man. I love hanging out with you guys. It couldn't have been a better weekend.
Absolutely. I'm already looking forward. I'm looking forward to the Louisville Arcade Expo, but Retropalooza 5 is going to be a lot just as fun, I think. But I got to ask you too: was there anything that you wish would have been done differently there? Like some changes?
Cheaper.
Obviously. Mr. Nikon?
I wish I didn't have to rent a car.
Yeah.
And now it found out there was an issue with the gas cap.
Is that it?
Serious?
You had to just tighten it?
We just had to wipe it out clean and all that, and
Oh man.
It's the night before. We didn't have time to go, get a code check on it. Didn't want to risk like a piston shooting through the hood. That would be bad.
Yeah, that would ruin the trip.
Yeah.
One thing I would like to change, which I really don't have any control over it. This is there. They were matching eBay prices, and they wouldn't try to make a deal with me. I'm not sure if it's because they came from a bigger store or if they're just being douches or something. I mean,
well, you can kind of see there's a few people there that just absolutely do not deal. They don't. This is my price. I have the best stuff here, but this is my price.
mm-hmm.
They kind of have that mentality. But then there's a lot of people that was like us. It was just I was getting rid of stuff.
Yeah.
So those people were definitely more willing to make a deal.
Absolutely.
When I had the stack of last 7 Atari games I have, like, you want them? $5, give them to me. I don't want to take these back home.
Yeah. That very yard sale mentality.
And the guy's like, okay, here's $5. Boom, thank you. And that kid I sold those last comic books to, man, I just made his day.
That's what it's all about.
How about that little hustler that came up to us?
Oh, that kid.
A kid came up.
Yeah.
He wanted to trade he had an NES. He wanted to trade it for a Nintendo 64. Well, okay, that's an excellent deal for me. So yeah, I can sell that easier than I can a Nintendo 64. So we swap out. He comes back around with the jungle green Nintendo 64. Look what I traded for.
I traded what I got from you guys for this one. You got
what a little hustler, man.
Like the one he didn't have any hookups or any controls. Oh, I got those all at home. I'm like, shit, son.
And not only that, he was just like a nice kid. I mean, he forgot to give Turf a controller,
and he comes running back. I forgot to give this to you guys.
Yeah, 5 minutes later, here I forgot this. And I have hope for the human race again. Yes. Like if people would he's being raised properly. So that kid was great. Never caught his name, but you know what? What was that? Turf?
That's how we do it in the South.
Well, let's say this is a generation past the millennials. This kid's gonna be part of
learning.
Nothing wrong with millennials listening. You guys are okay.
I'm not
like and subscribe. We love millennials.
As long as they buy our stuff. I mean, yeah, I sold a pretty expensive game, and the guy who I sold it to, like, he was so excited. I mean, it was still pricey, but in comparison to what other people were selling that same game for, I gave him a deal, and I'm happy knowing that the game I sold him is going to a good home, and that same game that was being sold by other vendors, they're still stuck with it. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I feel annoyed by this hobby because there's so many people are trying to sell for what I think is a little bit too much, but yeah. That's just the state of things right now.
Yeah, that's selling stuff.
Yeah.
Anywhere you go.
Oh, I forgot that I bought a Darkwing Duck box.
Yeah.
Off. Yeah, I bought a box only for Darkwing Duck. That was stupid.
Oh, and Jenny made the biggest deal of the weekend when he showed the Double Dragon in a box. And guy's like, I don't want the box. And Jenny's like, you're selling it for like $25. It's like, I don't want to pay $25 for it. And Jenny's like, but a slice of cold pizza help? He's like, yes.
Nice.
Yeah, Double Dragon 2 in the box and are complete, and a slice of pizza for 25 bones.
Not
America.
Too shabby. And that's another thing I would change. Next time, I want to try to stay for like all of Sunday. So maybe I'll take a later flight out, or I don't know,
Just
find a roach hotel. You what?
Drive back with us. We'll drive you back home again.
I adore you two very, very much.
But that's too much time in the car.
Drives and me just.
Nah.
We were about to pull out. We were about to pull out of, or we hadn't even packed up yet. We got a text from Cashel saying, "Hey, I'm back in Nashville." I was like, "Oh, really?" Oh, I'm dreading this 7-hour car ride.
Yeah,
this 14-hour car ride we had.
Drive down was okay. I will say the drive down was fun. I'll drive down again. Just take a later flight out or something. But we'll plan that all for next year. Am I missing anything else? Because we gotta start wrapping this guy up.
What else happened that was of note? I don't know. You got to
No.
see the Jenny wake up process.
Yeah. So Jenny is a sleeping beauty, and on Sunday I saw Charles try to wake her up, and she was sleeping on her stomach, and then Charles like pushed her down like with both hands, and she went like that.
5 more minutes.
I laughed so hard, and this is I was still there was still alcohol in the system, and I was so hungry, but you know what? That I was able to still continue the laughter. The laughter continued on to sad Sunday.
And Jenny's not a quiet sweet sleeper too.
That's another thing that I would have changed was Jenny snores. Sounds like metal going through a paper shredder. But I love her. So.
But
And
yeah.
I think that's about it. You know what? Audience listening to this or watching this, it was a wonderful weekend. I cannot wait for the next. I can't wait for next year's. I can't wait to do another convention with these two guys. I can't wait to play all the stuff I've gotten. Great weekend all around, and yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world. So, Turf, we gotta start wrapping this up. So, where can we find this episode of Our Parents' Basement?
Well, I'll tell you what, if you want to listen to this episode, if you'll just wait just a couple days, it'll be on iTunes. It'll be on Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and what's the other one? SoundCloud. It'll be on all those. So if you can just wait just that long, the audio-only version will be out there. But immediately after this is over, it'll be on YouTube. You can watch the video version of this on YouTube. And eventually, it'll be on ourparentsbasement.com. If you want to get a hold of us, interact with us, if you met us at Retropalooza IV, man, go ahead and shoot us an email, shoot us a text, hit us up on Twitter, or a text. I don't know how we're going to do text, but
Yeah.
I'm not giving anybody my number. And there's a cat. Anyways, we're on Twitter at OPB Podcast. We're at Facebook.com/OPB Podcast. Send me an email, opbpodcast@gmail.com. And that's how you can get a hold of Our Parents' Basement.
That cat's ass is like right up in your grill right now.
But I am the consummate professional, sir. I did not even miss a beat.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. All right, guys.
We told you to get some tail, but not that kind of tail.
Hey, zinger!
Hey, but all right, you guys. This was fun. So much fun reminiscing about it. I can't say it enough. I can't wait for next year's. That being said, next week we'll have a new show for you. Thanks for listening and or watching, and we will see you guys real soon.
See you guys later. Good night.
For y'all. All right.